Hello and welcome to Around the Console Room. You're with myself, Alex. You're with the lovely Morgan.
Hello there.
We are with the sensational George.
Hello.
And what is this? Our first guest? We have got Sam, the incredible Sam.
Hey everyone, what's going on?
Not much, Sam, not much. So, we're just going to dive right into the first topic. How have you guys been?
I've been very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, sounds good.
very good. Vibing and thriving as usual.
Sam.
Yeah?
How is it from your perspective that you ended up joining our friend group? How do you believe it happened?
So I knew George and Morgan quite sort of early on at my time at university. I met
How do you know Morgan?
I met Morgan through Discord, I believe. I was on a Discord server, like a freshers one, and then obviously I met George a bit sort of later on, like through my course, obviously because we both did the same course at university, and then in second year, the way I met everyone else was George asked me to if I wanted to go and see a film with him and some of his friends in the Electric Theatre, and I said, "Yep, that sounds really cool." So that was,
What film was that?
that was The Shining or
Apocalypse
Jurassic Park. I think it was Jurassic Park.
We definitely watched The Shining together.
We watched them
Yeah.
both in
I
the
think-
lecture room.
I think the first one might have been Jurassic Park, but I can't remember. But
Because Alex and I had done one or two before we started inviting a few other people, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think I was like, because I remember we talked a lot about films and stuff in class, because you were just like generally interested in the media and stuff that we were talking about.
yeah,
Jurassic Park was the sixth film that we watched in
yeah, I
there.
think that was the first one I was there for.
That's
to my
the
knowledge.
first one that you were there with. Yeah.
That's where I met
Yeah.
Alex, and I can't remember if Jack was there, but
Jack was there. Jack was there.
yeah, Jack was there. Obviously I know Morgan was there, but then I knew Morgan anyway. Then obviously saw a few more films together, and then
Yep.
later on, obviously when you guys were in the house, that's when I met like Imi and everyone else, and obviously we went them all for Lord of the Rings, and then I saw A Clockwork Orange with George and Alex, and then later on I kind of became
Oh yeah.
like
Oh,
from there. But,
Oh,
yeah,
delightful
Raphael,
film.
man. Yeah, but yeah. So from there, obviously I sort of came around more and saw more films with everyone, and then that's when I kind of became part of the friend group through movies, effectively. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I actually vaguely remember in first year actually when I met you. We talked for a little bit on the Discord server, and I remember meeting you in the refectory at the uni, but that was such a long time ago.
Yeah, that
and
was
then we kind of
during the
just
freshest. I think it was during the freshest fair. I think I went into the
yeah,
refectory. We were there.
and then like we just kind of spoke to each other a lot more. Obviously, when you came to visit us, and yeah, we're glad to have you with us. Like it's been
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
I'm glad to be part of it. Yeah,
It would be very different without you, Sam.
yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, we would have no Peak Sam, and what world is that we live in?
Peak
That's
Sam!
no
Peak Sam.
Big Sam.
Free Sam as well. Well, Sam's been freed.
Sam's already been through.
Exactly.
Hell
Yeah.
Check out that dude tracking his new album coming out. Free myself.
Real
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
real shit.
Power to you, nah, power to me.
It was quite nice. In some retrospect, we always used to walk home together.
Yeah.
When we would jet off home, it would just be me and Sam talking and walking.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite films that you watched in the house? Do you remember?
That do you know what? That's
Skyfall's got to be up there, right? When we watched all the Daniel Craig Bond
100%,
films.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Skyfall at that time. I mean, I still think this now, but I do think Skyfall is possibly the best action film of all time. So seeing it
Come
with
on,
you guys was really, really awesome. I would say probably Return of the King as well, because it was the first time I'd ever seen it, and obviously kind of everyone being there was pretty cool. The most memorable one, it wasn't necessarily like the favorite in terms of like the actual film itself, but I think the most memorable one was Fast and Furious 7 when the power went out halfway through.
Oh my god.
Mental.
That was so
Whole
surreal.
town
Oh my
was
god.
just engulfed in darkness.
Yeah.
I put
I
in
have
the
a-
notes. I put in the notes with power cut.
Yeah.
I
I
Wasn't there during that power cut as well? Like the whole street was quiet, and then we looked up in the sky, and then Alex yelled, "The stars are looking fucking beautiful tonight!" And I can't remember who said it. It was like and they said, "That's a plane, you moron."
Oh, that was MJ.
yeah. I remember that.
That was so
Brilliant.
funny.
Absolutely brilliant.
The lack of power brought us all, even for the whole house together as well. In a funny way.
Honestly, where we were living, it was like a whole street just full of students, and we had like one person knock on the door. It's just like, "You right, mate?" And we're like, "What the hell? What's happened?" And they said, "Power's gone out down," and we just had like nearly the whole like street of students just coming out, just thinking, "What on earth is happening?"
I remember 'cause I thought it was the whole town had lost power, but it was only like a small like section.
No,
I thought it was,
yeah,
like,
'cause
the
I looked
entire
it up.
town had lost power, like 'cause it was all the way down to like the high street and stuff. But
Mm.
that was so. Looking back, that was insane. Like, just
Yeah, I mean,
midway through the movie, then all of a sudden it's pitch black.
I would have loved to have been in Spoons at that point.
Oh my
Imagine.
god.
Welcome to Question Time. This involves going around answering a question that's been sent in by a listener. If you have any questions that you would like for us to answer on the show,
I have a question.
oh, shut! Not this again.
I do have a question.
are you going to do that for your game where you'll be like,
Save
you've got to answer the
question.
question, you've got to answer it?
Save questions to the end. If you guys have any questions that you would like us to answer on this,
I
on the
still have
show,
a question.
feel free to send them to any one of us, and it may be featured in the next episode. Alex, what is your question?
Do you want me to put the like a question poll on Instagram?
That could work.
Okay, that's good. That was my question.
Today's question comes from, that's right, the Rhyme Man himself.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, hello!
Hello.
What's up?
Bright asks, what is your favourite thing about yourself? Sam, would you like to start us off?
Oh,
What is
interesting question.
what is your favourite thing about yourself? Be wholesome. Be wholesome.
Oh, I'd say probably just the fact that I find it quite easy to kind of make friends and get along with people and stuff. And I think that's something that I developed when I was at uni. Because I remember before uni, I used to be quite sort of shy and not that confident and stuff. But at uni, I really kind of changed, and I found it a lot easier to make friends, just being like sociable around people. And I think it's because obviously there were a lot of people at uni that kind of shared the same interests as me, but also as well kind of.
It helps if the interests are computer science and that they
Exactly, yeah.
and you do computer science.
Yeah.
I suppose karting as well and stuff.
At that, yeah. But also as well, people are kind of introducing me into like things that they're interested in, like movies, for example. And I think that kind of helped me to sort of like be part of the group and everything, and have times with you guys and stuff where we were watching movies, and it kind of got me into something that I never really thought about before. And I think that's kind of something that I hold quite close to myself, is the fact that I find it quite easy to kind of make friends and just get along with people and stuff. So yeah, it's quite a wholesome.
Yeah, no,
note
that's
to
good.
start with.
That's good. Alex?
I echo what Sam said.
Oh yeah, but yeah, the difference is that you know everyone. You have
Yeah,
I
I have a reputation of being the guy who knows a guy.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Anytime I'm
honestly.
with you, there will never be wait.
Yeah.
There's always a moment where you're like, I know that guy. I recognize that guy.
Bro's just him.
We're on the moon. How do you know that guy?
Yeah,
Bro knows Buzz Aldrin.
honestly, I'll give you an anecdote. When we were in London, everyone knows this guy, but I was the one that pointed him out. So yeah, I get all the recognition. We were in a group in Leicester Square, and who just comes sauntering behind us? The lovely, the great Stephen Fry, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Stephen Fry. And he's like, hello.
We met Stephen Fry.
Yeah. And everyone was like, what on earth has just happened? I was like, guys, I just met Stephen Fry.
Half the people didn't know who Stephen Fry is.
That's a crime, honestly.
No.
Stephen Fry, if you're out there
Absolutely.
listening,
Jesus
thank you
Christ.
for putting me to bed
That's
Yeah.
when I
Stephen
was.
Fry's listening.
I did not
Yeah,
know.
Stephen Fry, I address this to you. Thank you, because I can't get to sleep most nights. But you know the one thing that did get me to sleep? Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, read by Stephen Fry.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's that, and like socializing, I think, is one of my best features about me, and creativity, as you may or may not come to find out at the end of this podcast. But
Right.
yeah, I think creativity is one of the big ones, and I
don't
think that's
know-
echoed to the rest of these guys as well.
Yeah,
If
I mean,
if the lethal video has come out yet, I will put on screen your best creation yet to date.
Oh my god, please.
oh my god.
If this is true, I might have to start going by like an alternate pen name, like Mobius or something.
Morgan, anything what's your favorite thing about yourself?
I'd say obviously it's in similar veins to Alex, where I consider myself a very creative and productive person. Whenever I just think of ideas, I'm very bubbly with it, and I just want to get it made. And like, obviously, when I'm making something, I lock in. But I'd say in terms of like the social aspect, like I just love being really nice to people, and that's how I've kind of made connections with you guys. That I just simply get to be myself around people and be accepted. Especially when I came out as non-binary last year, it was a very difficult time for me. I was very stressed, and then for you guys being like fully accepting of it, and obviously my family as well, it was a full relief. And just knowing that people actually, care about me no matter who I am, and it was really just heartwarming, and
Well,
oh, am I getting emotional? No, I'm good. I'm good. But,
Well, it didn't really change anything about you, to be quite honest. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like, you're non-binary.
yeah,
Like, you're still the same person.
Exactly,
No matter
exactly.
You go by like he, she, they, it. The genuine article.
we're woke
It
now.
doesn't change anything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we are anti Joe Rogan. Let's go.
Oh my God. We're gonna overtake him one day in the charts. Trust me.
So to conclude, I like being creative and I like being nice to people. There you go. Boom.
There we go. That's nice.
George, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
Nothing.
Well, I like
I am a nihilist.
I think I've mentioned this before, but I find that I'm very persistent in finishing long-term projects. If there is a big project, something like the film or the next Lethal video stuff, even though it takes so long, it will be done eventually. And I've seen so many people just give up early, or because it takes too long or whatever. And I found that I've just never been like that. I've always been quite persistent in I will finish something I've started, eventually. So I think that's my favorite thing about myself, is that I can finish something.
Right.
That's tough. That's so tough.
That's so tough.
That was a really nice and concise answer. It's
At least
almost
it was
as if you
original.
had an answer.
But it's original though. You guys were like, oh, it's like Sam. I know lots of people. Oh, like Alex. I'm creative, bro. You guys are so unoriginal, guys.
Do you want us to give it an original answer? We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. I'm tapping my wrist at the moment, and George is watching.
Oh hell yeah!
He's tapping his wrist with no watch on.
Yeah, it's hair past freckle. We need to get on with this shit.
Pass Franco. That's a bar.
Everyone now knows what time we record this. Oh my god!
Yeah, they're gonna find us.
Guys, this is where we recorded this at 3:30. So yeah,
This is why our sponsor NordVPN helps us out with cybersecurity.
Now cybersecurity. What?
You want to finish the sponsor? Go on then, finish it.
If you use code around the console room at checkout, you can get 40% off an annual plan. That'll be $250. I watch too much YouTube to know this.
You're forgetting
I was gonna say, have we actually arranged this? Like what?
That's why. You guys need to get sponsor block because it'll just skip all the sponsors.
No, wait.
Hashtag not sponsored.
We won't get the revenue.
We want to be sponsored, George, so people don't use sponsor block on us.
Oh, yeah, but it's no, because it's okay because we'll still get paid. We'll still get paid.
You're so right.
And people just don't watch that part. You see, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Please don't use sponsor block. We put a lot of time and effort into these ads.
Welcome to Pitchy Business. Morgan or Alex will pitch an original idea that they've got, and the rest of us will sit and listen to judge them very harshly. Since Morgan won a very legit rock, paper, scissors from the last episode, today's pitcher will be Alex. Alex, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't quite know which one I'd like to pitch at the moment. I've got like a just Word document of loads of stuff.
Can you find one that you got sci-fi like? Because we are a sci-fi podcast after all.
Yeah, I'm just wondering this. I could do AE from last night.
I think it'll be good to hit because we can at least critique it this time rather than having to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was more of a whistle-stop tour and a bit of a mess about yesterday. But yeah, so my idea was artificial emotions, or AE for short. This I came up with in my second year of uni for a idea generation project, and I really liked this robot design, and I was like, right, how do I build a story around this? And I wanted to do a neo-noir detective story in a similar vein to Blade Runner. I wanted to make it a short film. I wanted it to be animated, and I took a load of stimuli from Love, Death and Robots. So it all happens within a police interrogation room, and a robot is being interrogated after an oil rig is burnt to the ground, or to the water if you will, and a robot that has been salvaged is being questioned about it. The interview is going as well as you'd expect, but then the interviewer looks back on some of their notes and some of it doesn't make sense. and there's errors in what the robot is saying. So this causes the interviewer to question what has actually happened, and right at the end of the film, this is probably spoilers, but I want to get the gist across of like the psychological horror. And the robot asks the police investigator, a robot couldn't lie to you, could it? And leave it on that. I like it to be a little bit of a chilling note. I wanted to play on the idea of AI, and it's called artificial emotions because if a robot could lie to you, that begs the question, does it have motives? Does it fear? Does it gain a sense of joy from lying to you? Is it doing this just for a muckabout? Like, what is really going on inside of that robot? And I wanted to open these questions and not give many answers, essentially.
It feels like that you would have this more like a short film rather than a whole ass film. Would this be something that you would want as an animation?
Yeah, as an animation student, I did some mock-ups of this in one of the hardest softwares I've learned in Blender.
Do you have a photo still of the model?
Oh yeah, I've got that was what I showed off last night, but yeah, I've still got pictures of the model and stuff.
You sent me before yesterday, you sent me the poster where it was all like the ones and zeros.
Yes.
And then I was trying to like decode it, and then when I decoded the A dot E dot, and I was like, "This is not right. Have I decoded this right?"
Yeah.
And then I immediately gave up and got you to give the right answer. But
yeah, so for people that don't have context, I did some pitches last night to our group. I wanted to be a little bit cute, a little bit clever with the artificial emotions one. So I did one poster which was just the glowing blue eyes of the robot, and it had artificial emotions, and then the tagline, "What if a robot could lie to you?" And then I did the whole poster again, but with binary instead of words, which I thought was a little bit cute. I thought it would be a little bit different to your standard film posters, essentially.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds really good.
No, yeah, I love how, you know, when you said one of your key influences was Blade Runner, which is one of my favorite films, as we discussed last week. But no, yeah, it really feels like, obviously, because the film itself could seem like an interrogation between the robot and the detective, and that could really give you a chance to write like really striking and memorable dialogue. And the closing line, like you said, really stuck out to me. What was it again?
A robot couldn't lie to you, could it?
Yeah, that's it's quite thought provoking in itself, and obviously how you could visually showcase that through your animation style. I love films that take place in like a singular location, and the location itself is like a character. It could have that tension building come across really well purely because it feels claustrophobic because of this location, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a great idea, and I'd love to see it make it one day.
Yeah, thank you. I was thinking of the idea of starting with the robot being like quite static. Because I don't want to say robotic. I'm like,
he's a robot.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, have him upright and broad-shouldered, functional in a sense. And by the end of the film, the robot is more casual. It's like leant a little bit back. It's gesturing to show that it has autonomy.
Yeah.
What style would you want this in? Would you want it to be like really gritty? I'm guessing then.
Yes, yeah. I want this robot to be like rusty as shit.
Oh damn.
I want him to look like he's just come from an oil rig.
Yeah.
But like still put together enough to show that he has like some sort of, I don't know, certainty or authority about themselves. Like
Yeah.
I think that's
what would you say is like in terms of like, obviously you've talked about how the robot would look, but how would you have the film look in terms of like lighting to really like sort of emphasize the darkness and tension building of this film?
I would like a single light source, so like a lamp. So this is like proper noir, like
sort of like hard lighting, have like harsh shadows on the faces. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, in darkness, nearly.
So almost like German Expressionism.
Yes, yeah, and like have moments where the light flickers and just the light of the robot's eyes is there.
I
Like,
just
also,
imagining in Dark Knight where like Batman suddenly appears in the interview room and starts beating up the Joker.
Yes. I think that would help it be quite eerie as well. Like if the lights are flickering and you're just seeing the lights of the robot, it makes it seem like quite eerie and quite sort of ominous, which is quite a cool vibe to have sometimes in a film and a sort of setting like that as well.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking of like almost lighting. If you guys have seen either the film or like seen excerpts from the comic, like Sin City, almost. Like
I've
the
watched
light
the Sin City
is-
film.
Oh yes.
Yeah. The comic is literally just black and white and a little bit of red. It is absolutely stunning.
And then they tried to recreate that for the film itself.
And I think it does it pretty well, getting off
Yeah,
topic
yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is one thing I wanted to kind of say about your idea. So
Yeah.
obviously it's called artificial emotions and it's with like robots and stuff. And
Hmm.
I think what's interesting is like the kind of tagline of like a robot wouldn't lie to you, would it? The way I kind of see it is it's that sort of looking at like how far can technology go and like how much are we willing to kind of trust technology, but then also like the consequences of that. That would be quite a cool theme to dive into, like kind of the wider implications of not just in robots, but in technology as a whole, of like how much faith we put into technology, but also how far people are willing to actually push technology and exploring what could happen if we kind of let it not necessarily run riot, but we don't have any kind of control over it. We let it kind of go sort of too far out of our own hands in a way. So I think that tagline as well creates a lot of suspense. It's very much a cliffhanger. It's like, we wouldn't lie to you, would it? So it's almost like, it creates that element of suspense.
I'm asking the audience to think. I remember a quote, and I might be misquoting, but Tarantino was in an interview and he was like, when I get the audience to think about something like, I can't remember his name. He's in Inglourious Bastards. It's Brad Pitt's character. I can't remember.
I should know this.
I just call him Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt's character then. He's got a
Bunny Hayes.
noose burns or rope burns around his neck. He says, well, I don't actually explain that in the film, but
It's Aldo
The
Rain.
aud-
Sorry, it's Aldo Rain.
Lorraine. And he says, well, you can make up a reason why he has those. So then that becomes your film, essentially. And I want people to do something similar and think about their thoughts on technology with that tagline and then go into the film with it, because then they have their preconceived notion and then this either enforces it or what's the opposite of reinforces?
Loosens.
Yeah, it deconstructs their ideology,
There you
and
go.
then it makes it their own film, which I like from a standpoint of a storyteller and an audience member as well. Because that tagline, even though it seems simple on the surface, I wanted to include something to do with like limitless information, limitless lies or something, but it just sounded like really filmy. You've got those like filmy dialogues. You've got like, I'll be back. Like something like that you'd hear in a film. I didn't want it to
Very
sound
cliche.
like that, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It all
But-
depends on which voice actor you get and how you direct them to deliver the line, in terms of the exact way you want it. That's not too over the top,
Yeah, absolutely. Like if dream casting would be James Spader. Obviously, for obvious reasons, he was really good as Ultron. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you know what I mean.
One last question.
Mhm.
You said that you dabbled in Blender a bit. Does this also mean you want it in 3D, or would you be content with it also being in 2D, or you don't mind?
I just think with the text, you can obviously get really good texture brushes and all of that in 2D softwares, but I think especially with how I want it to be like quite rusty, I want different textures, which I believe I can get some really talented artists to do those textures and to make it look as good as possible. I just think it will look better in 3D if we get someone on like a Substance Painter to do the textures and to make it look bumpier and have the real depth to it. That comes with being in a 3D space, but also it saves so much time with camera angles because it's in 3D space. In Blender and other stuff like 3ds Max and Maya, you can have multiple camera setups. It fucking tanks your PC when you're trying to do rendering. Rendering. So like I'll have like a frontal view of the robot, and then there's a top one, and then there's a table view, and then there's like one from like the back chair leg of the robot, and it's pointing up, and the what's his face, the light is just shimmering a little bit, and it's going on to the really shiny table or the really dull table. We don't know where they are. They might be in a friggin' outhouse for all we know. It's easier to do that than to just have all of the keyframes and the storyboards done. So it's basically making all the shots for you in 3D.
Nice. No, that was a great pitch.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Woo!
In hell. Everyone, we are going to be doing the court ranking. This is where we rank some topic of some kind. Normally it's films.
Normally, but this is the second time we've ever done it, and the last
This
time
is going to be normal. People are going to re-listen to this so many times that they'll be like, I wish they'd call out the normality of this. We've got it. We've got you, listeners. So we're going to be ranking the Christopher Nolan films because I believe this is a director that all of us have a very large amount of respect for, and we've also watched a majority of the films. I believe, Morgan, you've watched the most, if not all, of the Nolan films?
The only Nolan film I have not seen is his directorial debut, Following.
I'm like Morgan, I've seen all of them apart from Following.
Yeah.
So we have got Following, Memento, Insomnia, Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Oppenheimer. As of recording this video, The Odyssey is not out yet, unfortunately.
By the time it comes out, it will probably be out.
By the time this comes out, The Odyssey will probably be out.
And we're recording this in fucking March, so...
Well, you're giving this away again. Oh, it's ruining now. Oh,
So-
my God.
I am going to say that because none of us have watched Following, we can either put it in upper average or lower average. Does this sound
Does it matter? We just put it in worst, or we just don't put in anything.
Or just don't put it in. Like, because...
Yeah, just put it in. What?
We'll create a new category and so we haven't seen it.
Alex, can you stream your screen?
Give me a second because I missed one.
The way you had to get close to your mic for him to actually...
He's not listening. He's
to-
not
to-
I'm
listening.
not listening because I think that it's a silly thing to do.
Well, I'm sorry, I've like forgotten this is not in my mind or something. There's a reason that the viewers can see an on-screen graphic right now representing what we would see.
I hope you leave this in, but you probably
Shameless
won't.
plug.
I'm going to tell you to fuck off.
Shut up.
I'm going to tell
This
you to shut up
guy.
as well.
This guy. Right, that's it. He's muted now.
I can't be having that.
We said that we wanted to put Following in worst. I disagree because none of us have watched it. So
Well,
none
yeah,
of us
just
have a
don't
good
include it.
opinion.
Yeah,
Okay, let's not include it. Right, so who has actually watched Memento?
I've still Memento.
I've seen it.
I have
Okay,
not.
how does everyone feel about Memento?
I mean, I've only ever seen this once, and I really want to re-watch it. But the first time I watched it, I was blown away by it.
I've seen it once, but I need to definitely rewatch it again. I've not seen it in a while. I remember the film very well because of how good it was.
It's a very good film, but have you seen this, Alex?
I haven't, no, unfortunately.
Okay, I think that given what is going to come up, I think that this goes in good. Because I mean, a lot of these films, I'm going to really hard to not talk about without spoiling it. And I think if no one's seen this film, you just got to go in blind because it has a very unique structure. And other films have tried to replicate this, but I don't think other films do it as well as this. It's really in a non-linear narrative. It can get very complicated, but I still think it does a very good job in presenting it all.
Yeah, I think this film, in terms of how it handles structure, is pretty damn masterful. It just has pretty sensational character writing. My only gripe is when, like, every time you know that it's gonna be starting from the previous scene, it has like the same couple lines of dialogue that you heard in the scene beforehand.
I wonder if it would hold up on a rewatch because if we both haven't rewatched this, it would be very difficult to see how we feel about it now that we know everything that happened.
Yeah.
It would be. Yeah, I would say this is good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is good.
What is everyone's thoughts on Insomnia? Because I will straight up say I'm really upset that I haven't watched this yet, but it's not for the reasons you think, like, oh, it's not an indie darling or like a must-watch film. I'm just upset that I haven't watched this Robin Williams film. I love Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Robin Williams is very different in this. He's
Yeah.
not his jokey self.
No.
I'm quite aware of this. It's like him in 1 hour photo.
He does the role well.
Yeah.
The film also doesn't feel like a Nolan film. It feels
Yeah.
like it was.
I think there's a reason for that, though.
I know there's a reason for that. I know it wasn't written by him. I don't know if it was written by him.
I thought it was a
Let
book
me-
adaptation. I may be wrong. I can't remember which of
Yeah,
the
he
first three
didn't.
Nolan films were a adaptation, or I could be completely wrong. I could just be chatting out my ass.
No, I don't have insomnia. NHS. What are you on about? Oh my god. Yeah, it's not written by him. Every film he ever made was written by him apart from Insomnia, but it says he was uncredited for it. He did rewrites. So the actual concept and stuff wasn't written by him. This doesn't feel like a Nolan film. It's still an alright film. I think it had a pretty good mystery from what I remember. I was just disappointed by the end because of how it felt, and it didn't feel like a Nolan film to me.
Yeah, I would have to kind of agree. It's one of his early works, and he was still sort of finding his form. Then again, his film just before this was Memento. It's because obviously with this film, this is a book adaptation. This film, and the only time he's
Was
done
it? Was it? Yes. No,
Yeah.
it's not even that. It's a remake of a Norwegian film.
But yeah, I think it's an interesting enough detective story. I just think it was just kind of forgettable. Don't remember much about it because mainly it's so long that I watched it, but it just didn't. It's just does not stand out. Great film, and it is already like incredible filmography. The film is perfectly fine. It's just kind of whatever.
If it wasn't for Nolan, this film would have been forgotten ages ago. No one would be talking about this film today. I think maybe you could argue that maybe people would because Robin Williams might have been in a quite unique role. But again, like, he's not even in it much from what I remember. He's not even in it for most of this.
Yeah,
He's only introduced like halfway, and it's kind of weird.
It's like you can tell with the setting. It's like it's kind of Alan Wake might have been inspired by it because it has that similar sort of setting with all the cabin and like.
I don't think it's
sort of
fair to say that. I think that films that Alan Wake is inspired by was also inspired this film.
Yeah.
You just got told by group leader.
Well, I don't. I Alan Wake is good. That's why I don't want to,
I still need to finish the game. Like I'm gonna get through it. It's just like the gameplay, the combos.
We're getting
We're
off
not
topic a little bit here, guys.
Okay.
Based on what you were saying, lower than average.
Yeah,
I would say that's fair.
Right, so now we're into the ones where I think all of us have watched for a little bit. This is Batman Begins.
I think this is my brother's favorite of the three.
really.
I'm gonna fact check that. I'm gonna check that one.
You're gonna message him, and then we're gonna wait a hot response. We're gonna have to pause the podcast. We're gonna stay silent for an hour until he responds, and then we continue talking about the film.
I'll get the answer,
He's
but-
probably sleeping.
No, I know what he's doing. He's I just remember him really liking this film.
Yeah, I think out of the three, I would say I don't know whether this is like a controversial opinion. I'd say this is my second favorite. I personally really liked it. I think because it was my first Batman film that I'd seen, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I remember it. They brought back the Dark Knight trilogy in cinemas, and me and my housemates were going to go and see them, but I missed the first one, so I watched Batman Begins sort of on my own, and I just remember watching it, and I was in awe. I was like, oh my god, this is genuinely insane, and I don't really remember much about it because it's been like a year and a half since I watched it, and I haven't rewatched it since. But I just remember like really liking the film and kind of the whole atmosphere of the movie. The cast I thought was really good, and just the general performances of the movie. And I thought it was just a really good kind of Batman reboot, but also a really good origin story.
I agree with you. I think this is a pretty good film. My brother also came back with the answer. He says his not his favorite. He says Dark Knight Rises is better because it's got a nuke.
I mean, fair enough. But yeah.
If the film scale is based on nukes, then I guess that is fair.
Oh, he didn't like Oppenheimer as much as most people. I think he hated it more than me.
His scale is rigged.
I haven't even seen it.
I don't know, this guy. Sorry.
Guy,
Sorry about that. It was a bit of a tangent.
For Batman Begins, it's a good origin story Batman film. Sets his character and like the world up really well. The Scarecrow, I think, is really menacing in this, and Cillian Murphy is like really terrific. I love the feel of Gotham in this film. Like, 'cause I remember Nolan saying it was very much Blade Runner inspired, but I feel like the Gotham that's in this game is also like mirroring the. Sorry, because I was thinking. Sorry, the Gotham in this film is very much reflecting the atmosphere of Gotham in the Arkham games, which is why I said games mistakenly. But yeah, I think this is a really enjoyable film and has some. I think the action sequences of this are good, but because I think this was kind of like the first proper time that Nolan was making action sequences, he was still kind of finding his footing. So it is a little bit messy in places in terms of how it's shot and edited. But overall, this is a fun film. So yeah, I'll be happy to put this in upper average, I think.
I think this goes in upper average as well.
I think I am going to probably get a lot of flack for this, but I am a comic fan and I got some opinions about this film.
Right,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay.
Origin story wise, this is pretty good for a comic book film origin.
Oh,
This is not a great origin for Batman himself as a
Right.
character. I think that Christopher Nolan read, I don't think he read personally any of the comics. I will probably be proven wrong when this becomes popular, and then I've got some chud in the comments.
Yeah.
Actually,
This
he
guy
read along
20 years
Halloween.
ago, he said,
Actually, yeah.
he got this fact wrong. Can't believe him.
But it does feel like he read year one along Halloween at Hush and said, let's base this on it.
He
and-
played the Lego Batman game and then based it off of that.
No, honestly, right?
Gonna
He
go
did
Batman,
not
really.
look at any outside media for
He
Batman because
just kind of took the idea of Batman.
he
a
took
lot.
being cool and Batman and put it together, because I think that Nolan, even though his thing is grounded and realistic, and it kind of it doesn't lend itself to that later on in the Dark Knight series, but it feels almost ashamed that Batman is a little bit supernatural or unworldly, because the villains that they use in this one, Ra's al Ghul and the Scarecrow,
Mhm.
both very grounded interpretations of these characters.
They're meant to be both more ghostly.
Yes,
Right.
yeah. I actually really disagree with what Morgan says. I'm really sorry, Morgan.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gotham is at its weakest because Gotham is just New York in this film. I think that Matt Reeves, the Lord and Savior, and Tim Burton do excellent jobs of making Gotham feel like a hellhole, whereas
I was gonna say.
Nolan's thinking was to make this grounded and realistic, so it is just, I think they did shoot it in New York, but Gotham's canonically in Chicago or whatever.
They did build some of the locations with the subway, because there is the subway train crash near the end of the film. That was all done with
Yes.
miniatures, practically. So that was all cool. But I was going to say, while I think the Gotham in this film is done well, I will say that I think my personal favorite Gotham is Matt Reeves' Batman.
Oh yeah.
It's just immaculate.
While Morgan says that this was his first time doing stunt choreography and something, I think that actually lends to Batman being a beginner in this film, fighting crime. I think that adds to the little bit of sauce. Also, that fucking voice, I'm sorry, he sounds like he's gargling nails. If any of you have watched Batman the Animated Series at home or in the studio currently, we are not in the studio. There is a
Here we are,
difference
what?
between the.
Look, I can just reach over to you and look at that.
Oh my god, I'm in a studio now.
Right, take this.
Ow!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That hurt.
Cry about it.
I
Anyway,
will.
what were you saying?
Batman does have a different voice to Bruce Wayne because he needs to keep appearances, but it's not this. It's well, it's a very
That just
commanding
Fully
voice.
cut off. It
Oh.
just fully cut off.
Sweat me.
Did
I can't forget.
are they?
Yeah, that also can't.
Whereas in Batman the Animated Series, he has, oh, what's up? He says this in the episode because it's Warner Brothers animation. And he's like, oh, what's up, Doc? In his Bruce Wayne voice, and he says, well, the Penguin is at it again, or the Joker is doing something. It's a very commanding voice rather than this, you swear to me, which I think is very silly for this film. But that's what I have to say on it. The next two will be a lot less in depth. But I love Batman. Batman's awesome. Give me a Robin in this film, maybe. Batman. So I really want to put Batman in lower average, but I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that. So
I personally think I'm in the minority here. I think it should go in good, genuinely.
I think upper average.
Yeah,
Would
because
people
because
have
Alex is upper average. Me and George are in upper average, and we've got Sam in good.
Yeah.
I think because
Upper average.
upper average is kind of like the middle ground between that.
I'll put it at the top of upper average because I can see why it's really good, and I did enjoy watching this film. But removing myself as a Batman fan,
You're just
I'll put it
you're
out.
just not a Nolan Batman fan. That's your
yeah,
problem.
Matt Reeves, Will Arnett, top 2 Batman in my opinion. All I'm saying.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Well, Bat Lego and Batman, but
Yeah.
the prestige.
Has everyone seen this film?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it,
Okay.
Sam.
No.
Okay,
Right.
let's not talk much about this to not spoil it for Sam then, because this is a fantastic film,
I've
and
heard
I
it's
would
good.
say it goes in best.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Yeah.
a great film, and I can't really say much more than that. Because even the things that I want to say about this film, like the people that are in it, spoil it a little bit. And I think Sam, I think you should go in blind to this film.
Do you know anything about this film, Sam?
The only thing I know about this film is that it's called The Prestige and it's directed by Christopher Nolan. I
Oh my
literally
God.
have no idea.
I thought you were.
Who he is. I don't
My
know
heart.
who's in it. I don't know
My
I don't know
heart
what the
jumped for
story
a
is.
sec.
I don't know. I literally don't know anything about this film. Like,
I thought you were gonna be like, actually, I just know everything. Like, oh, no,
Because you're Pete Sam.
I don't really. I mean, all I know as well is that a lot of people do like it because I've seen like the letterboxd reviews and it's quite like high up on there. But yeah, I don't really know much about
Well-
it. So I do want to watch it. I think it is on my watch list. But then like, it feels like half of Hollywood's on my watch list at this point. But it's definitely one that I am going to watch at some point.
It is his third highest rated film on Letterboxd.
Wow.
Which is saying something.
Yeah.
I would petition. I'm putting out my political campaign to put The Prestige in best.
I think this goes in best.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it might be a bit difficult later on to see if it's better or not, but we'll see.
So the next one is The Dark Knight. I'll let you guys hash out this one.
This film was absolutely jaw-dropping. I remember watching it and I literally had like a massive smile on my face the whole time. It was so good. The seeing obviously Heath Ledger's Joker, just everything around the film, like the atmosphere it had, the story, like I think everyone they were acting at their absolute peak. And overall, I think it was one of my absolute favorite films that I've ever seen on a big screen. I'm so glad that I actually did see it. Like I said, it's similar to Batman Begins in the sense that I don't really remember much about it. It has been a while since I've seen it. Yeah, no, overall, I really liked it, and it's a film that I'm definitely going to rewatch again at some point.
I think out of the three, it is the best one.
Yep.
All of the parts that get idolized in this film, so Heath Ledger's Joker, and I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry because he is a terrific actor, and I am so sad that he doesn't get more work. Two-Face. Yeah, terrific actor. If you've seen him, he's in a chef film, and he's really good in it.
Arknight? What the? Arknight?
Aaron
Eckhart.
Eckhart.
No, Eckhart, that's our mother.
Very, very good actor.
Arknight.
You knobheads.
You're never playing that, by the way.
Yeah, I have played Arkham Knight.
Josh. Oh, Arkham Knight. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll play Arkham. Yeah, I know you played Arkham Knight. What?
Yeah, it was on my. I'll show you my hours in it later. If I boot up my.
Oh,
Xbox
go on then. Yeah,
365.
that's. Yeah. No, suddenly you're not gonna do it. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh no. Yeah, with the scenes that are glorified in this one, like the starting sequence and the hospital blowing up, they're all really good. But I think it's some of the quieter moments in this film, like living long enough to see yourself become the bad guy, and the ending scene where Batman is.
It's not about the
framed.
money, Batman.
It's not about the money.
message.
Again, another really good scene, and I think this is a movie filled with a lot of terrific scenes. I think this is Nolan firing on all cylinders, and it even gets rid of the things I didn't like with the first one, because he is bringing in those more fantastical elements from the comics for this film. The dialogue in this film is on fucking point.
Yeah.
I don't think that this film is overhyped either. I think it is absolutely worthy of its flowers. Heath Ledger is amazing. Christian Bale is really good in this as well. I don't think we talked about him much as a portrayal of Batman in the Batman Begins, but he's really good.
Absolutely. Easily, I'd say I don't know whether I prefer him or Pattinson, but I think he's definitely he's up there. Like he was absolutely sensational.
And I don't know if it's in this film or if it's in The Dark Knight Rises, but he actually does some detective work, which is really fun because
Oh my god, he's from a detective comic.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because like before then, we hadn't actually seen Batman do a lot of detective work in like the film adaptations.
Right.
Like
You should play the
Burton and-
Telltale series. That's all he does.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a good adaptation. But that's why it's a good adaptation, because I'm slamming my words. But he does the whole bullet thing, and I would have liked to see that more. But then we got all of that in Pattinson's Batman, so we would go. It was all leading up to it, guys.
Superman's not a detective. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
The Dark Knight, it deserves all of its praise. Not only is it the best film in the Dark Knight trilogy, not only is it one of Nolan's best films, it's just one of the best superhero films like ever made, period. As an action film, it's stellar.
You know, Stella, I went Interstellar.
Oh my god.
God's sake. I would straight up put this in best. I don't know what you guys think.
Oh yeah, no,
mean, this goes in best,
100%. This
yeah.
deserves to be in best.
I
100%.
believe this is just under Prestige, but I don't know how people feel about that.
I think this goes below Prestige.
You see, I need to rewatch Prestige because I've watched Dark Knight more than the Prestige.
I mean, you're a bit outvoted here still.
Yeah, okay, because I'm not outvoted, I would be happy to put it just below Prestige.
There we go. Right, so this is Inception. I remember watching this for the first time with George, and I can't remember who else was there.
Oh, let me find out. I've got a list.
So while George finds out, Inception is a really good film.
Yeah.
When watching it, it just boggled my mind in like a really nice way. It scratched an itch for
What the
like
flip?
trippy sci-fi cinema. I really
This-
liked it.
This was the second film we watched in the lecture theatre. It was just us two.
Oh, nice.
That's insane.
I like that.
That was 2 years ago, by the way.
Oh my god, I'm old.
Oh my god.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, you are. You're like or something.
Bugger off.
Oh wait, I'll have to censor that because I don't want everyone knowing your age. Oh.
True.
I think Inception was one where, even though I didn't really understand what was going on for a lot of it, I think the overall vibe of the film was enough for me to be like, this is possibly one of the coolest films I've ever seen. The story of the film and like how everything worked, like this whole dream within a dream thing, I think it was a really unique concept. And even to this day, I've not really seen much else that's been done that's like it. And overall, I was actually really impressed with what Nolan was able to do with that concept. I honestly think it's one of Nolan's best.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's not a concept you've seen being done since?
Have you not seen Paprika?
No.
Which is the exact same concept.
No,
There's
but I
the
think
Matrix as well.
Yes, there is the Matrix.
Are you talking specifically about dreams or something of a similar nature to it?
I think the kind of the dream concept, I think unless it has been done and I'm
Because
just
I've
completely
seen it done
forgetting.
so many times because this film has got so popular.
Mm.
So I don't agree with that statement. Sorry, mate.
Well,
so
it's probably-
invalid.
I think
What do you
no, I
mean you
think
don't agree with what Sam's seen?
what I think what I meant was more the fact that like I personally haven't probably seen many.
Yeah,
Unless
that's fine.
I have, and I just
Mm.
forgot about it. Like I wasn't. Yeah, sorry for the
It's a
confusion.
but it's a
yeah,
concept that has been done a lot because
Yeah.
this film is so popular. A lot of, especially like long-running TV shows, will at least have these references. There was a Doctor Who Christmas special that was just completely copying Inception, but making it more Doctor Who-y, which was pretty funny because when I looked up the review of what Morgan had on this, it literally just said, "Oh my god, they're copying Inception! How dare they? 1 star." That was
no,
your
I
review, by the way.
Inception for me, like for a very long time, for quite a few years, it was my favorite Nolan film. Period. It's just an
I can't wait
exceptional.
till we get to Interstellar.
I cannot wait for that.
Stuff's gonna go off.
But yeah, Inception for me is just the pinnacle of Nolan at just firing at all cylinders.
This is the first film where it starts being very clear that he now has this power in the industry to just do whatever he wants now.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, this film is absolutely legendary and it has an incredible score by Hans Zimmer. So did Dark Knight as well.
Oh, yeah.
Fire this bad boy straight up into best.
Yeah, 100% in best.
Oh, yeah, but was it better then?
I think this is bottom of best.
I'd say it deserves its place in best, but I personally don't think it's better than Dark Knight.
I think it's better than Dark
I
Knight.
won't mind putting it between Prestige and Dark Knight. I think that's a good
Yeah,
place. To
that's
put it.
fine.
Then we'll put it there then.
Sweet. Okay, so Dark Knight Rises. Really good film. I love Bane's voice, and I think Tom Hardy does a very good impression of a Romanian boxer, as he said in an interview.
Yes, but, something that we touched on before was that the Nolan's interpretation of each of these characters are more grounded. Bane is supposed to be massive, right? In the comics, he's supposed to be this
Yeah,
massive guy,
Bane-
constantly
Bane is
injected
supposed
with
to be
serum or whatever. And then this, he's just got a mask. Like he's just walking around. He's still buff, but he's still big. He's still buff, but he's not like massive. And he's not. Does he use the serum? I can't remember
No,
if he
he
uses the
doesn't.
serum.
Can't remember.
He doesn't,
He
does
does not
he?
use Venom, but that's not Venom Tom Hardy Venom. It's VENUM, which is
Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
No, like he has this extra backstory which leads into the actual like plot of the film anyway.
It is a really different interpretation from Bane from the comics. So
Which was it?
for those who don't
Batman?
know,
It
go on.
was it Batman? I think it was a Lego games that there was some sort of controversy. No, it was in Lego movie, wasn't it? In the Batman Lego movie,
Yes.
the Bane voice actor, he says he based it off of Tom Hardy, but even though it's supposed to be like a more true to the original comic character, because he's bigger in the Lego Batman movie. Is that correct? If I remember that
Yes.
right.
So, for a bit of context, Bane in the comics isn't actually white. Bane in the comics is of Hispanic descent. Having Tom Hardy play Bane, you can argue it's some form of whitewashing,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a topic for another day, and I don't think any of us are that qualified to speak
Only
about
controversial topics
that.
here.
Only controversy on this channel. We're going to get some reviews.
Patreon exclusive topic.
In addition to this, and also not using the venom or having the massive tubes or even having like the fabric mask or the backstory for that matter, I think this is a fun adaptation of the character. It's not obviously this massive like hulking almost figure, but it does get something about Bane that a lot of adaptations would not do until like around this time. Bane is on the same intellectual level as Batman, and a lot of people think he is just the brawn, where in reality he is the brain. In the most
Man, I don't know, because in Arkham he just runs into a wall just because I dodge him like some bull. So
yes,
that's on him,
that's
buddy.
just called peak gameplay.
Yeah.
But
That's called interactive elements.
Absolute video games.
DC have got a new line of Absolute Comics, and I'm almost certain that people have seen the memes of like, oh, that's a Batman who lifts. Oh, swole Batman. In the second arc of the Batman series, in this, Bane is the big bad, and in this story, he breaks every bone in Penguin's body. He scars Two-Face. He. This is my favorite one.
This
right?
is where I watched my parents die, Rowley.
Zooey Mama.
Zooey Mama.
Michelangelo. This is where I watch my parents die. Cowabummer.
For me, I think The Dark Knight Rises is the weakest in the trilogy, and not only do I think that, I think it's Nolan's worst film,
Oh,
which might be a bit of a hot take.
wait, but what my brother said, nuke. It has a nuke.
Yeah, what about the nukes?
Okay, instant best.
We do not care.
He is not here.
I think the plot of this film is all over the fucking place. So the fight sequences are genuinely laughably bad. Like, if you pay close attention to them, how they're edited and how they're choreographed, there's a gazillion fucking continuity mistakes. I just think this film was just a bit of a slog to get through. While, yeah, it has some cool moments, I just think the plot of this film is just a fucking mess, and I don't think Nolan really knew how to end it.
They wanted to do No Man's Land from the comics, but they were told no.
I'm kind of with Morgan on this one. I think out of the three, it is probably my least favourite. I wouldn't say it's Nolan's worst film, but it's definitely my least favourite of the three.
I'd say this is like with Insomnia.
I'd
maybe
go
upper
lower
average.
average, to be honest.
I don't think it's worse than Batman.
If it was just me, I'd put it in poor, but I think...
You guys really hate this film.
This cost millions to make, I'll have you know.
Upper average, but below Batman Begins.
I put it in low average, I think.
Okay, it's either going
I'll
top,
just
lower
say upper
average,
average.
or upper
I
average.
think this is still a really
bottom.
decent film.
Oh yeah, no, it's still
This is still
good. I think maybe
watchable.
upper average
Like,
below
it was good
Batman
in
Begins,
cinema, 'cause I think
maybe.
I watched this one in cinema.
I think this goes upper average.
I think this goes below Batman Begins, but Dark Knight Rises second. Are we going to make Interstellar quick and just say it's the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Put
would.
it
the memes.
put it up in best. It's
Yeah.
it's an exceptional film.
Absolutely.
Probably it's one of the if not the most popular and most watched film on Letterboxd ever, I think.
Yes.
No, it's not. What?
I think it's the most watched film on
It's up
Letterboxd. Though.
there. It is up there.
Oh my god, you're right. It is the most watched film on Letterboxd.
You question Morgan on Letterboxd. How dare you?
Oh, yeah, okay then.
Apology.
Did you also know, though, that it's also Christopher Nolan's most watched film?
What, he watched his own film?
That's not what I meant, but yes, go on then.
So I'm going to sit down and watch one of my films. Which one? He's got a little shelf he goes through. Interstellar, you got me again.
I still need to see this film in IMAX 70mm as well. Like, I bet that's going to be an incredible experience.
70mm, that's 7 centimeters, bro. Get a grip.
Oh yeah, why did they just say that? Are they stupid?
70mm sounds better.
It does. It's all marketing. That's all it is.
I saw this in cinema when it first came out, and there was a 10-year gap from me watching it and then rewatching it with you lot at uni. I think I said it at the time. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the first
You
time
haven't
in like
seen it in a long time.
it was 10 years between me watching this film."
Yeah, because when we saw it, it was the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And we watched it in normie whatever cinema, normal cinema.
Bog standard cinema.
Yeah, bog standard.
I
Cinema.
saw it in Cinema Pro Max, you know.
Yeah,
Do you know the first time I watched this film?
it was on a plane.
No. I was in my computing classroom. I just watched it on my phone on Netflix.
Really?
David Lynch would fucking hate
Christopher Nolan would be proud.
you. Have you seen that clip of David Lynch? Like, he literally detests the idea of watching any film on a phone.
Yeah.
He was like,
I really hate when films are watched on screens. Like, you need to have it in like a cinema or at least on your TV.
That's a screen,
Like,
though.
you need it on something bigger.
what David Lynch said, he was like, if you ever watch a film on a smartphone, you will never, ever truly experience the film on your fucking telephone.
What's the film on that, like, on those really old things, or like you have to put a coin in or something, and then you turn the crank, and it's on like bits of.
That means the Zoe trope.
Man, you know what? I kind of agree, but at the same time, some films just don't need that full experience. I can't be asked to go watch. Can someone name a mid film?
Oh,
The Running Man.
Like
the Grey Man. Did you say the Rain Man or the Grey Man?
No, The Running Man.
Oh hell no, we're not getting into this now.
sometimes, you know what? If I want to watch Argyle on my phone, you know what? Like, I think that would be allowed.
You said mid, not terrible.
I don't think I need the cinema experience for that.
Yeah, that's true. So let's move on to Dunkirk. We have put Interstellar as the top of best. I hope everyone...
We don't need to talk about Interstellar. It spends like the most time.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dunkirk. I have not seen Dunkirk. It is...
I haven't either.
Okay, cool.
What do you think about this, Morgan?
I have seen Dunkirk. Dunkirk's great. I understand why it's divisive. In terms of like characterization story, it's very much stripped back in terms of Nolan's works. It's definitely probably his most experimental film.
But it's just history.
I think it does honor the heroes and like those who were there on that day. Some of the sequences are like pretty horrifying because of like the constant tension building. Dunkirk's a really, really good war film, and it has some really emotional, powerful moments. I think this film is really good, but in terms of like what Nolan is capable of with character work, I think for me personally, I put it in good or the highest of over average.
What do you want him to do with character work? They were actual people.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think Alex knows.
To be
we
fair,
need to accentuate the character traits.
you could argue that because the stakes in the situation that these characters are in during this day in history, the film will probably not have time to like have character moments where they stop and have a conversation about something because they're constantly against the threat of the enemy. So I think that's a fair argument to put forward, I think, as what Alex has just said. But, you know, I think it's still a really great film.
Guys, we need a quiet, somber moment.
I remember it being technically a good film, especially if you don't know much about it. You're going to enjoy watching it, I think. But that's kind of what most of Nolan's film goes for, is that more mainstream audience. And I think it does a good job in that case. But I do remember hearing a lot about its inaccuracies since I last watched it. And I think that it would bring down a lot of enjoyment for those who are in the know, you know, and would be rated a lot lower because of it. What did you say, Morgan? Where would you put this?
I would put it in good or highest of about average.
I'm okay to put in good. I think it goes in good.
Are we putting it above Memento or no?
Below. I think it goes below Memento.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael Caine had been in every single Nolan film since Batman Begins until this film, in that he started aging a bit. I think he was about to retire. He was just a voice on the radio for this entire film. That's it. He had a very
Okay, he was
minute role
actually
in
in the
this.
film.
And then Tenet, he has like a tiny role, and then he retired.
Any Michael Caine is good Michael Caine.
Off topic, do you remember in the Christopher Reeve documentary?
Yes.
The Christopher Reeve did a film with Michael Caine called Death Trap.
Yes, I'm aware. Yeah.
I watched Death Trap, and I recommend it to you, Alex. You're not catching up. It's got a Rubik's Cube on there.
This is a PG podcast, but go fuck yourself.
It's not.
Please
it's
bleep
really
that.
not. Wait, what? Is it? Wait, I feel like we swore before. I marked this as explicit.
Guys,
Yeah,
they're going to watch this after Bluey, all right? Children are going to be listening to our in-depth takes about these films after Bluey. For those at home, for the Patreon special, I'm drawing Mecha Godzilla at the moment. I finished Wall-E and Ultron while having this conversation. So, Tenet.
Who wants to go first on this one? Because there's going to be a lot of different opinions on this, but yeah, I'll let you go first.
I will go first. Tenet is a very mixed bag of ideas. I think it is a mess of a plot, and I can see where it was going. It's really good performances as well. I think everyone in this film does a really good job. Sam David Washington, the first time I've seen him in a film, really good. Robert Pattinson as well, underrated performance. Michael Caine for like 2 minutes. Vanessa Kirby, Kenneth Branagh as well. It was the first time I'd actually watched.
Vanessa Kirby's not in this film.
Vanessa Kirby's in this film.
No, you're thinking of someone else.
No,
No,
she
this
isn't.
is. Oh, am I thinking of Elizabeth Debicki?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say she's
Yeah.
not in this film.
I get those two mixed up.
Oh
Apparently
my
she
god,
plays
dumbass.
Ow. Ooh. Biff.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I understand what this is going for. I don't know what any of it meant, but I respect what it is, and it is a bit shit.
Yeah, I think personally, I'm not like, don't really think it is a bad film, but I would say it's the only one out of the ones I've seen where I would say that I personally don't like it. I think a lot of it was, for me, I just didn't really understand what was going on for like 90% of the film. I remember thinking to myself, I really just wasn't a fan of Tenet.
That's valid.
I think you guys are wrong.
This was one of the first Nolan films that I watched, and I just remember being completely blown away by it in terms of its ambiguity. Obviously, I was a little lost on some parts when I first watched it, but if there's something I don't necessarily understand, I'm willing to watch the film again to fully get it. I've watched this film multiple times, and I think the more I think about it, like in terms of how everything clicks together, in terms of all of these different chronological events all connect in a way, I think it's incredibly well thought out. A lot of people's main criticism with this film is that there's a complete lack of character work, whereas I think the protagonist, he's more of like.
I'm the protagonist of the story.
He's the sort of eyes and ears for the story, and he's sort of set up as a character. Because when we see how he reacts when he loses his comrades in the opening mission of the film, which is by the way an absolutely thrilling like opening sequence that's uplifted by an absolutely bombastic and incredible score by Ludwig Göransson. This was Nolan's first collaboration with him.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I thoroughly love this film. It's some of Nolan's best action sequences. It has such extreme precision in the choreography, and it is fucking genius. And I think that the themes of like free will, playing God, and when the protagonist ultimately he forms a connection with Neil, they have a great chemistry, and it's a joy to watch, especially because John David Washington and Rob Pattinson are both really great in this film. This film holds a special place in my heart. It's one of the films that really made me like confident, being like I can maybe create something as like ambiguous and just like balls to the wall as this. This film is essentially, I think, for Nolan, it's just not really caring if like the audience, if it clicks with all audiences. Like it kind of shows some filmmakers just want to make films that they want to make, and even though like you ideally you want to make something for an audience, I think there are a fair amount, a decent amount for this films, and even though it's still considered one of his most divisive works, I think I am a major fan and defender of this film, and I just have a great time with it every single time. And I think how it's all structured and how all the little bits and pieces come together and the little Easter eggs in terms of spotting certain things that are in reverse that come back into the film, especially with the Freeport sequence, it's just mind-boggling how they all pulled this off. And the 747 plane crash is one of the most impressive practical effects I've ever seen in terms of how they're able to accomplish that. Of course, they had to get it at one take because they're actually crashing a real plane into a building.
Oh yes,
but yeah, incredible direction, amazing action sequences, phenomenal score. I love this film, and I completely understand if people don't like it, if it's not their thing, like Sam and Alex say. It's not good.
Morgan,
Everyone's
what
cup
do
of
you
tea.
mean that's a great special effect? I can crash a plane into a building.
Okay.
Oh
Right,
my god!
This guy.
Oh no, I didn't mean
Uh,
that.
Oh my
Jesus
God, this
Christ!
guy.
But yeah, I adore Tenet, and I understand why people don't like it. It is what it is. I'm not too upset if you don't like it. It's chill.
Do you want to hear my reason why I like this film?
Yeah, go on.
It makes it's fun.
Yeah.
Fair
That's
enough.
it. It's just there's no deep knowledge. I'm not gonna pretend like I understand the story, but this is still my favorite Christopher Nolan film, and it's just a fun watch. All like I can sit there and all day and just watch all those like reverse bits. I think it's just so well done. It's just
Yep.
so well made. That's it. That's all. There's not much more to it. Don't care about deepness. Doesn't care about if it made me think or not. I just like the look of it. So for that, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think this is basically a 50-50 split without the four of
I
us.
mean,
like,
wait. Where would you guys put this? Well, Sam and Alex, where would you guys put this roundabout?
Oh, I
Technically
don't
speaking,
want to be
it's
too
not
harsh.
bad.
I was thinking poor, but I don't want to be too harsh because I think it is actually under the hood. It is a good movie, even though I didn't like
It's a
it.
Christopher Nolan
I'm
film.
willing to compromise and go lower average.
So, what would you put? Where would you actually put it? So, would you actually put it in lower average, or would you put it in poor?
I'd go lower average. I think.
I'd put it in lower average as well.
I would put this in higher upper average or the bottom of good for me, at least.
Shall we say upper average then? Because I would put it in good as well, and then the middle point would be the upper average. Where we put it in terms of Batman?
I think it's worse than these Batman films, but
I do as well. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys put in lower average.
Well, yeah.
I'm happy to put them below
We'll put it in
Batman.
between the Batman films because I know Morgan doesn't like The Dark Knight,
Mm.
but it's for the same reasons why we don't like
The Dark Knight
Tenet.
Rises, you mean? Because I love that.
Yeah. Oh, The Dark
Yeah,
Knight
we'll
Rises.
put
Sorry.
yeah.
Without this film, you wouldn't have Oppenheimer because famously
Oh,
Robert
God, the rabbit hole.
Pattinson. Wait, is this wrong?
No. So, do you want me to explain this on the podcast?
Well, I was told the story was that Robert Pattinson gifted Christopher Nolan a book about Oppenheimer, and Christopher Nolan went, I'm gonna make that film now. And then he went
There
to
is
go
a
make
rabbit hole that says that because of 9/11, we got Jared Way because Jared Way was
this.
on the way.
Oh,
This is
no,
too
no.
bad.
You're keeping
Okay,
this
no,
in.
no.
You are
We're not
keeping
keeping
this
this
in.
in. No, okay.
No, we are keeping this in because I'm explaining this and this is relevant. So 9/11 happened, and on the way to a pitch meeting with Cartoon Network, Jared Way saw the Twin Towers fall in New York. This inspired Jared Way to make the band My Chemical Romance. And then the book Twilight was made because it was My Chemical Romance fan fiction by Stephanie Myers, I believe. And then fan fiction was made about Twilight, which was called 50 Shades of Grey. No, wait, that doesn't diverge on the timeline. I went too far. So Twilight becomes a massive success.
This is getting cut because you're making this too complicated. This is a
No,
Patreon
no.
exclusive.
So Twilight gets
This
made,
is more
and then
complicated than Tenet.
this starts the career of Robert Pattinson, who goes on to distance himself from the franchise and goes to do other works, which lands him the role of Neil in Tenet. At the wrap party for Tenet, Robert Pattinson gives Christopher Nolan a autobiography or biography, I can't remember which, of Oppenheimer, or a book about Oppenheimer, which is how Oppenheimer was made and how it eventually swept the Oscars. So 9/11 directly caused the success of Oppenheimer at the Oscars. The other one is the downfall of Ellen DeGeneres, which is a much more fun one.
That was hella tragic.
Thank you, patrons, for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed that mini rant.
Thank you, patrons,
TLDR.
for putting
This
up
guy.
with my bollocks.
This guy. Oh yeah, about Oppenheimer, guys.
Right, I haven't seen this one, so
I
Alright.
Guys, it's the bomb.
I don't like
Bomb
this
go boom.
film.
Do you not?
No, I
That's
think
mad.
You don't like Oppenheimer? Oh my
No,
god!
it's got. I mean, it was slightly better when I went to go rewatch it, but initially when I watched it, it was just too flippin' fast, and it did, and it wasn't.
Huh?
Like,
fast. It's 3 hours long.
yeah. Oh no, I know, and it still feels like it's so far. There's so much that happens, and after I watched it, and I went to watch a few other ones, I noticed that was the style. That's how he made his films. He's quite a fast-moving dialogue man, Christopher Nolan. But this is just on display so much more than any of the other films. This is probably my fault. I watched it with my brother and my dad, and they are both very familiar in what Oppenheimer did, and I on purposely did not look up any details about this guy's life so that I could experience it through the film, and I still left not really understanding fully what was going on. I needed that extra context that I then got after watching the film to fully understand what was happening. So from the film itself, I couldn't learn much about Oppenheimer himself. It didn't give me that full, complete experience about this guy's life. I needed to do more research myself to understand it fully, and that really detracted from my enjoyment of the film because I'm spending a lot of time trying to work out what is actually happening, and that doesn't help with how fast it is. But that's why I really don't like this film.
Can I jump in there and say I was similar with the experience that you had? I'd also did Barbenheimer, which I don't think anyone here does, so I am automatically better.
No. You spelled it wrong. You said it wrong.
Barbenheimer.
No.
Barbenheimer.
That's what it is.
No.
It's Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. Thank you very much.
Oh my god.
George, I did not play Pit. So
no, I know you didn't. That's your part of the problem. So you didn't even complete the day.
I have never played it. Also, I call it Barbenheimer because I watched Barbie first and then Oppenheimer. I would have called it Oppenby if
Barbie.
Oppenbarb. I watched it back to back, which was a really fun day for me and Ryan in the cinema. First of all, never had a feeling like the bomb going off in the cinema. Very cool, very nice.
Well, I was terrified.
I also didn't know anything about Oppenheimer going into this, but I thought, yeah, I'll go in blind. And the only thing I knew about Oppenheimer was the epic rap battles of history against Thanos.
Yeah.
All I knew.
No way.
And it is really good. That epic rap battles history, very fun.
Probably learned more from that than I did from the film.
This will be relevant in a couple episodes' time because we plan ahead. The Che Guevara one, if I'm saying that correctly, is really good, and you'll find out why in a couple episodes' time.
We've got foreshadowing.
I know.
All those episodes have already been recorded, by the way.
I know, we're so
going,
far ahead.
As a sci-fi podcast, we're going back in time and we're going to interview epic. Join us next time for Jesus.
So what are your thoughts on Oppenheimer now then, Alex?
We were talking about Oppenheimer.
Yeah, we were talking about Oppenheimer. He's really good in epic rap battles of history. He smokes.
No, Alex, for God's sake.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the
film. Not a bad actor in here or performance. This is a stacked cast as well. Like it's also like the Avengers Endgame of like casting. Like you see Josh Peck in this film, and then you see
this
Roderick.
Is Christopher Nolan's Endgame. He goes back in time.
So serious. Evan Bostic's in this. Roderick from
yeah.
Drake and Josh is in this.
Even Nolan said in an interview, Roderick rules, baby.
Real shit. But yeah, this is a really good film. I put it the same rating as Barbie.
Shame Barbie's not on the core rankings.
It isn't. We need to do all the Barbie films.
And if it was, then Pikmin 4 would also be on it because that was also released on the same day.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no one played it on that day.
Do you want to hear my thoughts?
What do you mean? Hold on a second. This guy is about to cause as much beef as Bright ever did.
This is getting cut.
No, it's not. I'm keeping this bit in because it's Pikmin.
My thoughts on this film, George, you're completely wrong.
I'm aware.
I was very lucky to see this in IMAX 70mm on opening day. It was an incredible experience, but the film itself, I've seen it quite a few times, and this film just impresses me more and more upon rewatch. I disagree with George in terms of I think the script is Nolan's best. The dialogue is like really sharp, and there are so many like memorable lines in this, especially between Oppie and Matt Damon's character, the Colonel. I mean, he's called Oppie by some of his close people in the film. So
this really is my J. Robert Oppenheimer.
The first half of the film, you learn a lot more about Oppie in terms of his philosophies and approach to science, and his worldview is just really fascinating when he talks about it, especially when he's getting to know Kitty. The second half is a heist film where they're gathering all these scientists together, and the fears of communism during that time period. Yeah, the heist and the lead up to the actual explosion is just some of the most nerve-wracking and just adrenaline fueled like stuff you'll see in like any on a blockbuster, and like this was a blockbuster, and it's just people talking about not only just the bomb, but not only about the bomb, but just like the fears of communism in that time. And then the last hour of the film is just a courtroom drama, and how basically Oppenheimer kind of allowed him to be ridiculed as a way to have a coping mechanism after all the regrets he had for actually creating the bomb, and the effects it has on people is fucking horrific. And I just remember leaving the theater just shaken and just really moved to my core. I think
Interesting
Oppenheimer.
take. Interesting. Take.
I think Oppenheimer.
I've never thought about it the way that you describe it. Like it's a heist movie. Yeah, that's a really interesting. That's a different perspective.
Guys, this is Inception 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No, I don't know. I reckon I will enjoy this film more if I go rewatch it now.
Yeah.
But I'm still a bit like how I felt during my initial watch. I get out of the way.
I understand.
Oh, well, we'll see. I'll just see will flop. So,
Honestly,
but no, I also feel like I learned. I knew like George and Alex. I knew nothing about Oppenheimer going into this as a person, but I feel like I learned quite a bit about him. And I actually went ahead and bought the American Prometheus book, which I have yet to read because the length of it is a fucking Bible. Because it took many years to put together.
So it is just me. Wow, maybe I'm just more brain guys. Where are we putting this then?
I want to put it in best.
I would put this in best.
I'm going to put it in between Prestige and Inception. Does this anger anyone?
No,
so I don't care.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I voted. That's chill. We did it, guys.
We did it, guys.
This was
longer than last time. George is going to.
Jesus Christ, we've been recording this for 2 hours 45 minutes.
I know. I've done 3 drawings.
There's no way. To start off with, I'm going to slap you again.
Ah!
That's what I
get
thought.
a slapping sound effect.
Oh, of course I've got. What do you think I've been doing? No, we're recording this in a real studio. Welcome to Recce Mission. Since the last episode, we were tasked with homework by Morgan to watch Terry Gilliam's Brazil. I saw this film before. Alex and Sam have not seen this film, and they recently watched it, so it's quite fresh in their mind. Just to round it up, Morgan and I gave it 4.5 stars. Alex gave it 4 stars, and Sam gave it 3 stars. Morgan, since you recommended this, how did you come across this film?
So I came across it because I was familiar with Terry Gilliam, obviously, with him most prominently being in Monty Python in the early stage of his career. And I'd already seen some of Monty Python's works, and yeah, some of the best comedy films like ever. And then because I own Mubi, and it's my favorite. I don't actually own. I'm not the CEO of the company, but I own a Mubi account. I own a Mubi account. It's my favorite streaming service for just pure art house independent cinema. And I saw a film on there called Brazil, and it had a very interesting image of a woman's face being stretched. It was like, this looks fucking weird, but I love weird films.
That's the one on like the poster and stuff, isn't it? It's on the Letterboxd posters at least.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out.
Barely in it. It's just used as a joke for plastic.
Yeah.
Like, it was so random.
So for the synopsis of this film, for those who aren't aware, have not seen this film, just a brief synopsis. The film centers on. I'm reading this from Wikipedia, by the way. The film centers on Sam Lowry, a low-ranking bureaucrat trying to find a woman who appears in his dreams while he is working in a mind-numbing job and living in a small flat set in a dystopian world in which there is over-reliance on poorly maintained and rather whimsical machines, and where people found guilty of crimes are liable for the cost of their interrogation by torture. It's a satire of technocracy, bureaucracy, hyper-surveillance, corporate satanism, state capitalism.
Literally 1984.
Yeah, and it says it's reminiscent of George Orwell's 1984 story after that.
So bollocks. That is absolutely. They just took 1984, and you're like, you know what? This could need the Monty
Family
Python
Adventure.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
the
main thing that caught my attention by this is that it's very much considered a Kafka-esque film. And if you know me, I love anything that's Kafka-esque, and I loved absolutely every minute of it. I think it is a really fantastical and whimsical film that's just basically an attack on capitalism and just how a lot of like corrupt bureaucracy that's very striking to what's going on with like Trump's America. This film actually from the director's cut has a very dark ending, and the studios did not like that. For many years Terry Gilliam was fighting to have his key vision for what he wanted to happen in the ending to be a main part of the actual cut, and then you finally got that director's cut, and I think it's a more thought-provoking ending and fits the whole Kafkaesque nature of the story very well. So I adore this film. I think it's terrific, and I would love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this.
Yeah, so character named Sam in it, so 10 out of 10. No, I'm joking.
Oh yeah, he's called, the main character's called Sam. I forgot.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. No, but I think for me, I wasn't a massive fan of this film, to be honest. I think one thing I will say, similar to my opinion on Tron, I think the kind of whole 80s aesthetic that was in the film was really cool. Something that I did like, and the kind of, the sets that they use and the sort of world building, if you can call it that.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought was actually quite cool. I really liked that, and that was quite a nice detail. But I think everything else, I wasn't really heavily invested in, like the story or anything like that. There were bits of the film that I thought were quite weird. There were times where I thought it's such a weird film.
You could call it absurd.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, maybe I just don't like absurdist films. But there was.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's listed on Letterboxd as a comedy. I literally laughed once. So, yeah, I didn't really find it very funny, but yeah, it's just one. It's not. I'm not gonna, again, like with Tenet, I'm not gonna say it's a bad film as such, but I just wasn't really a massive fan of like most of the film. Like, there were things that I did appreciate about the film, but overall, it just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I agree with Sam in some things were like pretty ridiculous. I'm fairly open to the more absurd parts of plots, but
this is a
with
Terry
this
Gilliam
one-
film after all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it wants the audience to treat it as seriously as it would if it was played off for like more comedic purposes. I hesitate to say that it doesn't know its tone because it absolutely does know its tone, but it's a very odd tone for that. I loved all of the characters in it. All of them are funny. The dialogue's quite sharp. The satire is very on its nose, and I think that's because it is British.
Yeah.
Very dry, very comedic. I had to look it up halfway through the film. I was like, wait a minute, what? Oh, that's the Master. That was the Master from Curse of Fatal Death, the Red Nose Day special of Doctor Who with Rowan Atkinson. I knew him from somewhere.
Somehow this film ties into a Doctor Who podcast.
Yeah, he's Jonathan Pryce.
Yeah, Jonathan Pryce is.
Since watching The Crown, I've just seen him in everything. It's very weird.
He's in so much.
Something this film I thought did very well was all the practical effects and everything.
Yes,
I think that was amazing.
Yeah.
It didn't do lawnmower.
I knew about this film before Morgan ever recommended it to me because Adam Savage says is one of his favorite films.
Yeah, I love that
from
corridor
Mythbusters.
episode.
He
talks
it was a
about
corridor.
This film came out the year after 1984. The John Hurt and Richard Burton version came out, which was actually filmed during the time frame.
I'm gonna copy that.
You're gonna copy what?
I'm pretending to be Brazil here. What?
Oh,
Are you Brazilian?
I am Brazilian. Little known fact.
That's actually I just realized that was insane. Like we actually managed to all watch a film and not go to the real country.
If you think about the impact this film has, I mean, they've literally named an entire country after this movie. You know,
So true.
Oh, God. But no, the practical and special effects in this movie are incredible. There's a specific scene where the camera pulls back inside like this power plant tube, shows the sense of scale and everything, and it's all done for real. Like, man, this film is it's so much fun, and it says so much shit about capitalism, and like it pissed off the right people when it came out at the time. And yeah, it's a film that does not hold back, and it takes risks, and I heavily respect it for that. This is a truly inspiring film, and I recommend, even if I know it's not be everyone because of how absurd it is, I do still highly recommend everyone to watch it because I think
This is a
you'll at least have a
high-level
good
film.
time with it.
You need to reach the end of your cinephile journey to understand this film fully.
But I think people will still have a good time with it.
You heard me. I'm not a family guy. Now we've discussed the film, it's now time to assign the next bit of homework. Or one of us will be randomly picked to recommend a film or TV show to the rest of us. And after the show, we will consume said media, ready to discuss it for the next episode. Since Morgan, again, got chosen by the last episode, it will just be between Alex and I. You ready to spin the wheel?
Yes, sir.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, where's Kinga?
it's going to be
That's
either
King.
Alex-
I forgot I left that in.
It's the goal.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh no, you're not happy to recommend?
No, it's me, guys. Oh, that's tragic. Okay. As part of your recce mission, I will recommend V for Vendetta. It's a sci-fi film, funny enough. And because we're a sci-fi podcast, that's all we need. So, that's all the time we have for today. Sam, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be on the podcast with you guys.
Thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Hopefully, we'll have you back in the future and we'll do a special car-themed episode or something like
Alex,
I mean, I know you're a
Speed
racist.
racer episode. Let's go.
As long as you don't
Yeah.
mention Turbo, I'm okay with that.
Mention what?
Turbo.
No,
Oh, Turbo. Okay,
The
okay.
Snail
okay.
is fast.
Join us next time for more conversation around the console room. Goodbye.
See you.
Bye.